Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you have the opportunity to participate. You can change the topic we speak about if you want. We never have a special topic. Politics, religion, socioeconomic issues. A lot is going on in the world today that needs to be spoken about. A superpower, Russia, has been battering Ukraine for over 3 years. Russia is 1.136 million people. Ukraine is 36 million people. But as long as you could remember, Ukraine, I guess because of their position, the richness of the soil, they have always had serious challenges with other nations. Then we have the situation in Israel. Israel and Hamas is back at it again with war. And the United States, every now and then, is bombing Yemen. And the United States seems to be in economic war with everybody, including the Caribbean. And the Caribbean, perhaps the first utterances I hear from them is combative rather than ready and prepared to negotiate. So there's a lot of issues to talk about. You know, we on We Noise FM 94.9 in Brooklyn, New York, 91.9 and 91.5 on Real FM in Grenada. We on YouTube and Facebook. And we encourage you to share us on your Facebook page. Share us. Whatever you're on, share us. Like us and subscribe to the program. Today, it is not the first time I'm asking that. It won't be the last time. You're going to hear me constantly asking this question. What standard of education do you require for your children? Remember, one of the reasons that I'm on radio is not because of politics. One of the reasons I am on radio is because I'm dissatisfied with the productivity level in education. Very, very dissatisfied. Not only in Grenada, but in the entire Caribbean. But they say, put your house in order first. And I believe if Grenada changed, it would have a rippling effect throughout the Caribbean. Because Grenada would practically shame the Caribbean. And I believe in 5 to 10 years, we can change. I do not believe that our people are hungry for education. I don't believe that they recognize how invaluable education is. It doesn't matter what job you do. Even if you're a housewife, or you don't have much housewife today, better to say a spouse wife. And you are not educated. If you are educated, when you go to the doctor and the doctor gives you a prescription, you would understand, you will be able to research the side effect of the medication. So even at that level, education is important. When you're cooking, you're going to realize that you're practicing chemistry. When you're weighing, you're going to realize you're doing physics. When you're eating, you're going to realize you're doing biology. The challenges that we have in Grenada is because of the low productivity in education. And there is no reason why we should have that low productivity. There is no justification. So I believe our children should be well educated, multi-skilled, flexible, and endowed with the characteristic that gives them the competitive edge in the marketplace. The majority of Grenadians shouldn't have problem to have a job. The reason that we are struggling is just because we don't have the proper education, basic education. And some of our intelligentsia, some of our academia, and some of our educators, I consider they are maliciously misleading our people. They're giving you the impression that your children cannot learn, so they must learn a skill. This is a bag of hogwash. A child needs a basic education. And that basic education is between 0 and 16 years. Why 16? The government of Grenada has decided that you should not enter the workforce before 16. Employers could be charged if they employ children under 16 years. So it means that from 0 to 16 years, you're supposed to be trained and educated and imparted with skills and talents, and you're supposed to be flexible. Then the very same government and the same hefe in education come in and tell you that your child can't make it, so they need skills. If you're a hairdresser today, you need to know some chemistry, some biology. Because the good hairdressers want to develop their own chemicals and own material to put in here. The good hairdressers want to design here. And some of the mixtures they are making, if they don't know what they're doing, they might poison you. I don't know if they're doing that already. I see a lot of the women here dropping, and they don't have cancer. If you are a masseuse, you must know what to touch and what to press. Press. Sometimes what you want to get hard gets soft, and you end up in trouble. If you decide to go as a mechanic, the vehicles today are electrical. Quite a lot of computer involved in it, and physics, and computer science, and proper language is paramount. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good day, sir.
Yes, my brother.
I'm just joining. I don't know where you are. I don't know.
Well, we could the good thing about us, we could start anyway once you reach.
But I realize you're on a good note.
Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, I want to say something. Like, if the leadership of countries are telling lies to a nation, what example we sending to the young children in schools who listening from the head, telling lies, basic lies to a nation? Imagine, I used to be in the political world with Basio Pandey of Trinidad and Tobago. 1986, I was with A.N.R. Robinson. I was with A.N.R. Robinson. And they used to tell me, we have to tell a little lie for the electorate too, because we want to win, but we cannot continue. First time in the history of my life, a leader come out plainly and making bold statements. And he have his own ministers in parliament coming out and say that he never said so. And the opposition leader lie on him, trying to defend him. With a clip is playing. Where we heading? I also heard an ambassador say, when you have a leader who divide the country, he's not a leader. So right now in Grenada, we haven't got a leader. We have a ruler. We have somebody who don't care. Grenada need a leader. A leader will never divide a nation. He has to be for NNP. He has to be for NDC. If Joel Pierre is ready, he has to be for Joel Pierre. Every living person. Once you divide a country, you is not a leader. I want Grenadians to take note of that. So it's good about the education system, Mr. Pierre, but we have to set a good example. Because children is listening. Lies coming from the top. Fundamental lies, all kind of lies coming from the top. So I don't know if others was listening. And whoever listened, take note. When the time is close, we just have to play over the message of lie to the nation. I thank you.
Yes, well, I know some ministers of government have been trying to backtrack. The Prime Minister said they're going to build 500 houses per parish. 500 houses per parish. 75, the last time I checked, is 35. That is 350 houses. The Prime Minister don't only lie. The Prime Minister is half crazy. He don't have a clue. He don't have an understanding about it. And instead of the apologizing or say you take me out of context, you know, the Prime Minister and his team, but they catch you lying already. But I always tell people, the NDC does plan lies. That is one political party that I don't understand. They always go in the lab and plan how to hoodwink and trick people. Why? NDC is not a big group. The real core NDC is not a big group. Maybe about 2,000 or 3,000 people. Not a big group. They believe they are the brightest and smartest people in the country. They believe they're in a superior class. And they see the other people beneath them. That is why the Prime Minister has been calling. He won the election. He got it on a silver platter. But he been saying he wants to see the real NDC. Now you just have to follow it. Well, you won election. You won 9 seats. One of the members turn and join you. You want to see the real NDC. He said too much people, the people who get in the reason they're getting assistance is because we don't know who the real NDC is. Some people are very quiet about the politics. There are houses in Grenada. Family members don't know who the other members support. Some people don't even speak politics. You cannot get them to speak politics. And that is what the Prime Minister do in the public service. You heard members of the elite NDC very early claiming to identify public officers, teachers, public officers, prison officers, policemen that attend NNP meeting. You heard the teachers union president attacking public officers who they perceive to support the NNP. And a lot of public officers walk the straight and narrow. They don't discuss politics. But by the nature of their job, they have to interact with the ministers and the politicians. People like the technical people, heads of department, permanent secretaries. The minister calling them in the night. They have to write projects. Some of them write the minister's speech. The Prime Minister of Grenada is a lawyer. The Prime Minister is not Tevin Andre. He's not run. He's a lawyer. So he knows. But he's a very fractious individual. I consider him as evil. And definitely, he is dividing the country. More than any other political leader in history. As you go back in history in politics, I know of no political leader who won an election and is on a witch hunt to victimize people who they believe don't traditionally support them. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, good day.
Yes, my man.
Yeah. Yeah, guys call and tell about the committee lie about the oil and gas. When you talk about it, you talk about lying and the committee lie. No, I hear advertisement or something about to take the trade center to discuss the future for oil and gas in Grenada. And to me, I feel a sidetrack here because the Papi Show budget, what they just presented it. They know definitely people talking about the corruption. People talking because someone tell me after church the discussions are about that. So at least Jenny open up a work and warm the room. Because people start discussing this thing all my shop, they're discussing all this corruption taking place in the government. So after to sidetrack the people now, they just bring them and excite them about some gas. So I reach the guy who call you and tell you, well, he apologized to you that what about the oil and gas thing. So take care, Mr. Pierre. Have a good day.
Yeah, NDC doesn't apologize. They're just lying more. The government is recklessly incompetent. And we have to express our solidarity with Simon Says because they've been using drones to intimidate her, to maul her, for her to shut up, to frighten her. The Prime Minister has publicly threatened when he was referring to social media Bajan. He was creating a law, perhaps expecting Jenny to tell him something when she passed in or some other person in social media. You can't do that. The Prime Minister has heavy security around him. And some of his supporters are militant. They have been radicalized. You see them on social media attacking you personally and propagating lies against you. So this government is a very vindictive government. But over 10 years now, I've been saying, when I listen to the Prince of Hate and the fact that the NDC endorsed him, I was comparing the potential, the negative consequences with that of the genocide in Rwanda. Leaders must try to divide. Yes, democracy have its fraction. But when you win election, you should try to woo those who did not support you. The Prime Minister of Grenada is actively going and look out for the real NDC. You remember what Black Wizard said? Inside NDC, you have NNP. Black Wizard said that. And yes, each political party would have 15, 20,000 supporters. But the people who determine who win election are some of the people who move from party to party. Some of the people you don't know who they're voting for. Some of the businessmen who support NDC and support NNP. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. You gone? So you see, what the Prime Minister doing is wrong. It's destructive. It's going to cause fracture in our society. And you've been hearing me calling on people to talk to him. Telling me wrong. Because we have had the experience before. Maurice Bishop went in Simoon and signed a warrant for the arrest of Eric Gary. I remember massive discussion. Well, how you could arrest the Prime Minister of the country? Where you get that authority from? Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, your phone, are you there? It seems as though you're there, but you have to talk when you come. You there, caller?
Do you know your words and Ken Jones, man?
You see, when once we find you're calling as if you're not certain you want to call. You're not certain you want to call. You just want to disturb the program. What you need to do is to challenge me. I constantly dare people to take me on. We have a prime minister in our country that's using obscenities. Caller, the prime minister used obscenities in a crowd and encouraged people to curse. The prime minister went to St. Lucia, wash dirty linen in the public, disrespect the elders of his own political party, and use obscenities. The prime minister incited violence against the opposition. The prime minister went in a public meeting and asked, calling out his people, and say, you all see a little getting. But the reason they're getting is because we don't know who the real NDC is. Caller, do you agree with that? Caller, do you agree with that? Yes, caller. Tell me if you agree with that. Welcome.
Yeah, afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Our Prime Minister would have heard about Maurice Bishop. He wasn't old enough to experience Maurice Bishop, so he'd have heard people talking about Maurice Bishop. Now, he tried to invoke the spirit of Maurice Bishop, like we said. Yeah? And plenty things that you'd have heard that Maurice Bishop did, he trying to do it too. One of the things that Maurice Bishop did was to show great solidarity for the people of Cuba. And he tried to he's trying to be that one. So listen to that one. Maurice Bishop did ask for the release of Cuba, right? A lot release of Cuba, and he said Grenada is not Cuba and so forth. And he said, let them come. We go bury them in the sea. Yeah, and so he still thinks that let them come. We go bury them in the sea. So we have a situation here too with the sargassum seaweed. I'm not sure if he's burying whatever he's burying in the seaweed, but folks are still complaining about the stench from the seaweed. But he did say that he was going to fix that. He did say that he was going to fix the seaweed problem, and folks are glad because we voted for that. Yeah, we voted for him to get rid of Subi's people wanted to get rid of the stench from the seaweed. So we voted for him. Yeah, and plenty other things that he said, and he promised. So when he got in there and he realized, look, he can't do it. In fact, he's still asking Maurice Bishop to come and help him. Maurice, we need you, Maurice. And so this is so alarming. A big man, so a liar, lying to people. So Maurice, come and help us. And he even told us that Dr. Mitchell is still running the NNP party. Delma is there. I mean, not Delma. The new opposition leader. She's just there, but ex-prime minister, he that is running the country. But he's the ex-prime minister is still alive, and he have a right to be assisting the present leader now because she's a new leader. But you're calling a dead man to do it for you. And not only you, so many people calling on Maurice Bishop. Maurice Bishop a dead man, he can't do nothing. Dr. Kid Mitchell, he's alive. And he still can give assistance. We love him still.
Yes, scholar.
Thank you.
Yes, and he should keep assisting the party. What they want to do is to push division between the new leadership and those individuals who are carrying. That's what they want to do. And people have to recognize that. The prime minister could well be described as a habitual liar, a pathological liar, compulsive in staying away from the truth. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, when you look at the performance of this government, from day one, you could see that something that they have as a philosophy is hatred for the NMP supporters and the NMP party. They have also again the look searching for the NMP within the public service to get rid of them. You have again as a philosophy again that is me, my family, and I. Right? Ignoring that for any party to win an election, the amount of support that each party have, they need other support. They need other support from those. You will not see them in a meeting. They might not support a party. But when the election comes, they vote for a party. They vote for a party. And that's why in many elections a party win. And when you have a prime minister making a statement like that, right, one of the reasons why a lot of the other side people getting work because the real NDC don't know who is NMP. As we just said, within NDC, within NDC there is NMP. And I call upon the people that those support the party, listen, remember the statement the Prime Minister made that you vote for this government, you vote for them to win election, but they don't have your heart. Only who they have a heart and the seats you get to work is the real NDC. So you know what to do next election because NMP election can they win. You never hear any statement from any one of the politicians from the NMP. They say when a party win an election, it's a government for all. And that's how it should be. A government to be, when benefit comes, everybody should benefit. And the committee always should say, if an NMP supposed to come to him and an NDC come to him, come to him, the person that is most qualified for the job, they will get it. And this is right. Don't become a support a party, but you come to someone for work. And the person who don't qualify, they will qualify. You give the work because you give it a man.
Richard Duncan, one of the
Exactly.
most perfect example of that.
Perfect example.
Richard Duncan was in charge of frack.
Exactly. We look at where they put him. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
If the commission have a problem with someone within, like you see, he might be the finance, and there is someone with.
Well, it's the most inclusive leader. This is
Exactly,
Garnet and saying
inclusive.
the most inclusive
Exactly.
leader we have had in our country. Yeah. It's easy to work with people.
It's easy to work with people
of
like
course.
that.
Yes,
But
scholar.
when you hear the prime minister make a statement like that, something was wrong with the prime minister thinking to make a statement like that. But I want you to progress the remember that statement.
All right. People have to understand that Maurice Bishop was related to the Lagrenards. And the Grants had serious influence on Deacon, I heard, when he was very young. And the Grants are related to Bishop. So Deacon come into the politics a bitter individual. He seems to be very bitter. The first thing he did was to attack the elderly. Raise his pay sky high by over 300%. Before they start to work, they raise the pay. And then he's looking for green blood. And that is the reality. Now, who is affected the most by that? The people in the lower income group. You saw the women of Karikou. I say women of Karikou, but he had men too. They lost their job early. Yes, scholar.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, scholar, welcome.
before I'm trying to get to but I couldn't get to it. Then I get to it.
Yeah, right. Go right ahead.
So I heard somebody talk about who NMP and who this and that. The person who divides this country is you and the NMP. You know why I tell that? Mr. Pierre, the government have a policy that they only give who they see, who they feel poor and vulnerable. That's the only person they give. Look at the tourism policy. Mr. Pierre, every child who qualify, who want to go, they could go and seek go in Europe and one of them places. And the government sponsoring them. You would tell me, you have me say that they don't know who is who and who is who, so that them poor and vulnerable ones should get and the rest should get. Are you discriminating against people? That is wickedness. Are you choosing who to give things, who not to give? That is wickedness. That's all you. Are you more dividing this country between rest, between poor and rich people? Are you dividing the country? Are you not uniting the country? This guy come and talk about they don't know. You know who? You know who's the NMP? It's up here. You know who's the NMP? Answer the question. You know who's the NMP? Nobody don't know who's the NMP. Nobody know who's
Caller, you asked me a question as you talk. Why do you think Deacon said?
Yes.
What, caller, you see, I let you speak. Don't juke me up. When you juke me up, go ahead.
Mr. Pierre, because Mr. say you don't know who's NMP, who's NDP.
No, he said we must know who the real NDC is. The Prime Minister not supposed to say that. He said why some of them get in is because we don't know who the real NDC is.
And you will never know, Mr. Pierre.
Well, he wants.
You know who is the real NMP? You know that? Answer me.
You want me to answer you again? When I answer you, I will just take all the conversation from you.
Mr. Pierre.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, caller. You see, you have a caller on the line? Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. I just want to do some following up with the last caller.
No, don't do that, man. Do follow up.
Right. No. I just try to give him some statistics.
Okay.
I want him with the free tuition for all, right?
Yeah.
Fine. I don't have a problem with the free tuition for all. But I want him to check on the statistics. How many of the kids, the young children, what is in Nulo, and that was a national college that dropped out.
But we don't know the statistics. Caller. The only people that are going to give you that statistics is the government. No matter what you say, the government could tamper with the statistics. Forbes Bonham said, you see statistics and research study, feasibility study, you don't want to hear that at all. The government could tamper with the statistics. The government lying. I go believe the statistics are fine.
Mr. Pierre, we know that. That is why we do it for ourselves. But
even though you do it for yourself, it would not be accepted.
When the opposition calls, do she research and everything, she know how much that was in National College and how much dropped out. How much that dropped out.
Caller. I just come on the radio with statistics, and the best thing I could do is to dare them to challenge me. But if you have to have a reputable organization doing it, and the government going to say, we that have the figures from statistic division. So quoting statistics with them, that is where they want you to quote statistics with them.
Okay, but you look at it. Yeah. Right, so and they could mislead you.
Of course, the government lying. You could believe this government. Oh, you are crazy.
But at the same time, we know what the Prime Minister said.
The Prime Minister telling lies.
What the Prime Minister said as well. He knows that. So therefore, when he go in and talk about action in the nation.
But in all fairness, I admire my part. In all fairness, I admire him because he tries.
But he just tries to defend. And I don't disagree with him. He defending the government. He just trying to defend the party. But at the same time, what to defend the party don't make no sense to what to say to defend the party with what? With what?
Yeah.
It don't make no sense. Have a good day.
Yes, thank you, caller. the challenge we have in Grenada is that we expect a pattern of behavior when you're at a certain level. So if you is the Prime Minister of Grenada, what you say must be believable. That doesn't mean you can make mistake. Everybody, all of us fall short. But you must not be blatantly lying. The Prime Minister is a habitual liar. Over 2 years now, I tell you, the Prime Minister has told more lies than if you add up all the lies all other political leaders in Grenada express. Even those that we don't have no evidence. Even if we take those lies that people say, but there is no evidence, this Prime Minister has told more lies. This is the worst form of NDC that we have ever had. The most divisive. And when you see that, you should understand how it is important for proper education and good character in your children. Because that's where it is. This gentleman has been poisoned somewhere along in his young life. Because I don't believe a trained lawyer who claims he is successful could sit down and plan so much lies. It's difficult to understand. It's difficult. You go through the whole Caribbean. You heard people say things, they excite the truth to motivate the people. I think it was King Henry IV or what that say, the fewer the men, the greater share of honor. And in the Bible you heard, when the Jews was fighting, is Joshua what raised his hand in the air. And when Joshua tired, they had to prop up his hand, and it served as an inspiration for the people to fight. The gentleman in Ukraine now must be telling his soldiers that we few, we happy few, we're going to paint the ground with blood, we're going to beat Russia to motivate them. But this Prime Minister is just blatantly telling lies for no justification, for no apparent justification. And it is embarrassing for some of his supporters. They can't defend him. The man even deceived the great scholar. You can't say scholar no idiot. You know. Scholar have a doctor. You know. Scholar a doctor behind the name. You know. Scholar has been an educator, a powerful Calypsonian in Grenada. I always not worry, but I always felt that Scholar should sing some songs about the Caribbean too, because he would have been a regional force to reckon with in the Calypso world. Didn't deceive Scholar. He tells Scholar you'll give him 50,000, not him, but the Calypso king, the independence king, is going to get $50,000. And then they give him 50. Prime Minister like everybody. Yes, Scholar, welcome. And then they give him 50. You have to close on the radio in the back. We have a delayed broadcast, so.
Yeah, you just said something just now. Scholar has a doctorate behind his name. And this is something I've been thinking about. The fact is that you have so many doctors in Grenada right now. But if you get a cut or anything that you can't go to one of them.
You're not a doctor for cut. You're not a doctor for cut.
They're not supposed to put the doctorate in the DR in front of them. They're supposed to put in the back of the name.
No, the doctor
so we're dealing with.
The doctor is not for cut.
What? Let me tell you something. The doctor that they have should not be in front of the name. He's supposed to be in the back of the name.
They don't put it in front of the name. We that put it in front. We don't say Scholar doctor. You know. We say Dr. Scholar. But if it is written, it's going to be written behind his name. Yeah. But when you're speaking, remember, language have to be situational.
Yeah, but the fact is it nowadays, doctor this and doctor this, doctor that and doctor the other. And you still have trouble for doctors in Grenada.
Yeah, but it's not medical doctors.
So why your papi showing people?
All right, color. You're a rum doctor too.
The papi showing people put the doctor behind the name.
Me's a rum doctor.
we know Dr. Klein, Dr. Radix.
Well, they're medical doctors.
Because they are in front of them.
All right, okay. Well,
they are medical doctors.
All right.
But now you're looking for a doctor anyway. Oh, the child fall down. Go and call Dr. Scholar. How are you going to call Dr. Scholar to do what?
We might advise him on calypso and culture and mathematics. Sometimes the child fall down because he know physics. Yeah, thank you, Carla. Yes, that was a little fun out of it. But when we see situations like that, we have to zero in back on ourselves. And we have to look at our education system. And I believe we're going on the wrong track. As I said earlier on many occasions, there is no justification for the low productivity in school. In yesteryear, you could have said we didn't have current, we didn't have water, I don't have food, we don't have clothes. You could have produced a ton of excuse, but there is no excuse now. The teachers in the school are better paid than any other time in our history. You have a principal in the school, a deputy principal. You have departmental heads. The principal have a secretary. They have, in some school, you have 6, 7 security personnel. They don't negate. They're searching children's bag. They're taking out cell phone. All sort of TTV. The children not learning in school. Something wrong. And I'm not talking about the curriculum. I'm talking about productivity. Every time you speak about that, we hear government talking about skills and training. No. When a child go to school between 0 and 16 years, that child need to have an education that makes him or her competitive on the job market. Mathematics is important. Children must learn maths because you must pay government tax. So you must know maths. You have to buy and sell and exchange. Something is wrong with the delivery. The productivity level is wanting. You must teach your children biology. All of us is like a walking practical example of biology. You must teach your children chemistry. There's a cooking. Make this subject practical. Make the children like this subject. And the teacher must deliver. We must teach our children a foreign language. Because of our geopolitical relationship with Latin America, it is of paramount importance to teach our children Spanish. All the children now have telephone and computer. Meet a child the other day, she tell me she have a 1 in Spanish. I said, say the Our Father, let me in. She can't say it. I said, you praying every day, the school praying every day. The first thing the teacher is supposed to teach you all is to pray. Because you're supposed to pray every day. So teach you all prayers in Spanish. We have to do better as a people. The opportunities for scholarship in Latin America is extremely great. If the government could negotiate properly and they could get 10 scholarships in 6 or 7 of the main Latin American countries, a small country like Grenada, you know the impact? It is easier to send our people for further medical attention. So if you're heart bad, If you have, based upon the problems you have, you could go to Venezuela, Colombia, Costa Rica. These countries, the medical system must be better than us because they have a bigger population. So Spanish is an important subject. We have over 500 Calypsonians singing soca. None of them can sing a soca in Spanish. If they was able to speak Spanish, the Latin American market would have been more readily accessible to them. What's wrong with us? Mommy, when your child go to school, they could do 25 subjects if they want. Nothing's wrong with that. That is for bragging rights. But your children must learn the science subjects. Biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics. These are important subjects to learn. French and Spanish, English language, computer science. If your child leaves school with those subjects, with good grades in it, 1 or 2, they could go to any field you want. By the time you finish with chemistry and biology, and the fact that you come out in a country where your parents just boil food, it's easy for you to be a good cook. All you have to learn is food presentation. So don't waste time with cookery in school. Learn to know your family history. Don't waste time with history in school. If you want to do history and cookery and agriculture, science and all kind of things, you do it for bragging rights. But the core subjects, your child must excel in it. And there is no excuse, none. The school is well staffed. The building, the ambience, the aesthetic in the school is better many times than yesteryear. Our teachers are more better paid and more well certificated than yesteryear. The aids, the other things like the computer. Long ago, you see teachers bringing a whole set of cardboard to write aid to help them assist in the class. Now they have computer at the tip of the fingers. Our children are failing because of the poor mentality of our educators. They don't want them pass. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
The guy who called you and told you he's the one who separated the country, preaching what he said. So that guy's a moron, man. The Prime Minister is the one not doing it, man.
Well, he's only doing that to help defend the Prime Minister. Scholars say you can't defend him. Yeah.
That guy very stupid.
No, doesn't
don't
even.
Give this guy no time. Don't give this guy no
No,
time.
color, no. All people in the society, we have to listen to them. We may not agree with them, but by listening to them, we could exchange and they could change. We have to be tolerant with one another, particularly now that the government is intolerant and insensitive and victimizing individuals. The government just have a program for burial. The government claimed that they're going to provide $5,000 for 4,500, I believe. 4,500 for people who have 5 acres of land and less, and $9,000 for people who have over 5 acres of land. There is a number of farmers who qualify, but the government refused to give them the land because they say they're blood green. The Minister of Agriculture was jumping up in Parliament when he was told these things and said he had money there. So if you don't get, go on to them with your ID card. I went the next day and tested. I didn't expect the government to give me. This vindictive government, I did not expect them to give me. A number of us on radio who are farmers, we don't expect them to give us. But we went through the procedure and applied. And when I didn't get, I wasn't surprised. I would have surprised if they give me. I would have come on the radio and say, well, and I went back and tested because I know they want to say you didn't come in the time. Every excuse to justify their vindictive and evil ways. So I went and tested. This is the government we have. We have stories. It'll make your hair growing. But we must investigate it. Because when we come on radio, we dare and we challenge the government to take us on. Yesterday, you heard me calling on my brother Chess. You hear me calling on Richard Duncan. We're going to continue to do that. Because this government is leading the country down the wrong trajectory, the wrong direction. They're going to bring back the country to a state of a free fall of the economy. And we would have to face the International Monetary Fund again. And it might be worse. Anytime the NDC in power, it doesn't mean you don't have money. But the money does not reach the ground. I tell you, NDC is not a big group. They're looking for the people to provide assistance. One little sister that listens to my program regularly, they accuse her for listening it. So she says she stopped listening. She does listen only when she's home and she put in on she earphones. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Yes, I heard you talking about the money for the land and things.
Yeah.
But you supposed to get, and you get last year, regardless to what the government do, the fair way they supposed to
The
give
government is a vindictive government.
I know what you're supposed to get. You have to get last year. You have played properly.
Well, I didn't expect them to give me.
Well, perhaps they will give you still. Wait and see. And they're supposed to give you.
And when they go and lie in parliament, I go back in front of agriculture.
Well,
And if you see me, I respectful as those, you know those made in Africa, they beat them up
yes,
in the movie, are bowing.
But wait, last year, the money done, or any money they still
They say you have money there. The minister say you have money, they come now. So the next day I go.
You have to get money. You get last year and you have to get money.
They say they see me name, they'll call me. So,
yeah. Don't worry, I believe they go give it up.
Yeah.
Election coming just now.
That doesn't make sense.
Election coming, let it do the wrong thing.
We have some stories. I have to investigate it and speak to the individuals personally because those stories bad. So I can't take hearsay on this one. Because I promise when I come on the radio to speak the truth. And I have a piece of mandrake kosher rope. So I don't want to, and I'm not a quick person where breaking news is concerned. But when these things happen, it makes me come back to the people, our children in school. That is the future. The next 5-10 years, what we do with our children in the next 5-10 years will make a significant difference. And parents who have children in school, between primary school in particular, some of them in secondary school, Jumbie take them out. And they're not treating some of the boys in the primary school good at all. Some schools throwing them out. And the parents don't have clout. Now, when your child in school, don't let nobody tell you that your child is not academically inclined. Remind them about Helen Keller. Or ask them to write it on a paper and sign their name on it. Bring it for me, let me call out the name on the radio. Our children could do much better in school. They are being shafted. And I don't see no justification. I appeal to our educators. The children you're screwing up in school now, maybe your son-in-laws or daughter-in-laws. Come on, have a way of turning back on you. The children that you going after in school today and you're not giving them a good education and you're throwing all them out of school for every conceivable excuse. Be careful. Karma is a serious thing. Parents, you have to strive for your children to be well educated, multi-skilled, flexible, and endowed with the characteristic that gives them the competitive edge. What parent A mean by that may be different from what parent B need. You could watch a teacher in her eyes and ask her, particularly if she has children, what would you like your child to achieve by the age of 16 years? Watch her in her eyes. If she start to blink, she ready to lie for you. Most people could tell you what they expect their children to achieve when they exit school at 16 years. That may be a good yardstick, a good template, a good question to ask. What do you expect your child to achieve at the age of 16? What subjects in school you want to make certain your children pass at 16? And you must start to ask those boys what they're doing. Home economics, home management, POB. They don't go in there maths and biology and chemistry at all. Something is wrong. We cannot continue to do our children that. 70% of our children cannot meet the minimum requirement in school. We're tricking them. How are you going to provide jobs for them? The NDC run down, criticize, and bash the Imani program. What is the alternative? Ask Deacon, what did you replace? I asking you. Deacon, what did you replace the Imani program with? The best program instituted in Grenada in the last 100 years to give people a second chance. What program you have? Security? What program you have for the young people? 3,000 to 4,000 young people was given an opportunity in the Imani program. Government expand the Imani program to 39. The age to 39. And some of them that went in it had 4 and 5 children and their husband. So I expect them to die in the program. Nothing wrong with that. It's the mobility of the program. What is the substitute? What is the alternative? It's important that we know. So as we come to the end of the program, I'm appealing to parents, women of Grenada, weep for your children, particularly your boys. They're in trouble. Thank you very much.
Foreigners have recommended it.